It's 10:30 a.m. on a Monday, and we've just seen Frank Lampard's at Everton. What do you think, Liam?
Um, I mean, it's not a great appointment, is it? He's got no experience.
No experience. I mean, you look at Chelsea, the team he had, he should have done a lot better. A lot
Well, I
better.
mean, you could argue during like the first season where he had a transfer ban that he did a good job, but then you took a look at the second season, the players he brought in
Yeah, but
just
even
wasn't
then,
great from
the
there.
first season, he didn't do that well. Yeah, he got top four and he got to a cup final and whatever, but they got spanked by Bayern Munich. I mean, who didn't that year? But at the same time, there's ways to lose. They lost to Arsenal in the FA Cup final. Arsenal, who finished eighth.
In the Arsenal,
They lost 4-0 at Old Trafford in the first game of the season. Right. The
which
naivety,
was my favorite game of the season.
the naivety he showed that day. He knew that they were just going to counter attack, yet he just said send everything forward.
I actually came across a stat the other day, and it was Chelsea Premier League managers' win get record, or points per game record, and obviously the win record. And Frank Lampard actually has the second lowest win record in the Roman Abramovich era. The only person who has a worse win record with 48% is actually Villas-Boas.
Yeah, but you got to remember those managers as well, like Jose, Conte, Benitez, Di Matteo. They'd all won trophies before they went to Chelsea.
And
They were
then
all proven.
Avram Grant.
You know, Grant.
Avram Grant.
Right.
Avram Grant. Gus Hiddink.
Yeah. Pudding managers. Anyway, at Everton, I don't know. You look at Everton now. Realistically, Burnley have got a load of games in hand who are bottom of the league. Everton could get relegated, which would be the best moment of my life.
I would enjoy seeing that. When even the championship relegation battling manager rejects you, you should know that your club's awful.
Yeah, Everton appointing Rafa was never gonna work. Never gonna work.
They probably follow some masterclass, but then you take in mind that he's a Liverpool legend. Then
Thing is, the connections he has to Liverpool, the fact that he probably only lost a couple of derbies, and the fact that he disrespected them in press conferences and in the media so many times, it's never gonna work.
yeah, didn't he say something like? Didn't he say something like mad about him? Like I can't remember.
He said something like Everton's a small club the way they play. It was one of the times they came to Anfield and parked the bus and still lost.
Which, to be fair, isn't wrong. I mean, Everton have a good history. I
They've
mean,
got history, but at the same time, you look at them in the past, what, 20 years? Yeah, they were decent under Moyes when we were kids, but, you know, nothing has changed.
Moyes. I've got good memories of David Moyes.
David Moyes. But with Lampard, I don't think he'll do well. I don't think so. He'll be lucky if they get anywhere near the top half.
Part of me hope he does because Everton actually have a game in hand over Leeds and are 3 points behind. So seeing Leeds go down would probably make my year.
I'm not really fussed about Leeds if they stay up. They stay up. If they go down, they'll probably just come back up. But
I hope not.
I don't know. Because Lampard at Chelsea, you look at some of the games he lost them ugly. Like, I remember Chelsea at Anfield, the season we won the title. He got it, they were something like 4-1 down, and he got it to 4-3. But then he decided to bomb everything forward with Mane, Salah, Firmino still on the pitch. And then what
Pretty
happened?
overrated players.
Up yours. Yeah, they bombed forward with Mane, Salah, Firmino on the pitch. How naive is that? They left all the space, and what happens? Mane and Robertson go on and run from a counter attack off a set piece. I think it was a free kick. That bang, we scored five and finished the game off.
I don't really remember that game to be honest, but yeah, I do remember as you said the first game of the season when we came across them. Even Dan James scored. Daniel James made it look like a. Well, we say he was a great player. His goal was a deflection,
Yeah,
but
but
then
even then, the
getting to.
space that he managed to hit with that goal, like, you want to go back and watch the highlights. All them goals, apart from the penalty at the start, were just United slapping Chelsea on the break, literally just hitting the space because
Yeah,
Chelsea were bombing everything forward.
they're pushing too far forward and then bitting back on the arsehole.
Even with like the Champions League ban, no, that's Champions League, sorry, transfer ban. With the transfer ban, you look at some of the games they lost, like losing to Arsenal. They drew 2-2 to Arsenal at the bridge when Arsenal had 10 men. Arsenal had Skodra Mustafi on the pitch. They lost to Newcastle, back when Newcastle had no money. It just doesn't look right. And even at Everton, what can he realistically do with that team? They've got decent players. They've got
He said
Calvert-Lewin.
he wants to take him to new heights, doesn't he? The championship.
Hey, at least the Championship is somewhere where they can win some silverware.
Well, you won if they're lucky.
Mate, they'll be lucky not to go into administration and where it's going.
Nah, to be fair, I reckon if Everton were to go down, we're talking about maybe not a Sunderland sort of chaos, but I don't think they'd come back up straight away.
Thing is, if they go down, you look at the spine of players they've got: Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Alan,
And Ross Townsend,
Andy Townsend. Man, why would you buy Andy Townsend?
Damari Gray.
Gray's been not that bad this season, to be fair.
It was just a bit of a surprise considering he's been every other season.
You look at all those players; they're gonna leave. All right, I doubt Calvert-Lewin wants to play Stoke away. Richarlison's a cocky anyway. He scores about 5 a season, and when thinks he's some big hard man, even though he's.
I bet you love Richarlison, don't you?
I hate him. I actually hate him. Honestly, I remember in the derby this year when he was literally played off the park, right? And he got like, one of them when you leave a foot in on someone, like it's accidental, and he started acting bare big about it, and begin Henderson just laughs in his face. It's like 2 years ago when we beat him 5-2, when they came to Anfield with no defensive plan. I remember Robertson like landed on him and elbowed him in the back of the head, and he got up acting so big, and Robertson, he's a human shithouse. He just laughs and stands there.
I remember when Everton came to Anfield and took 3 points away. Don't you remember that?
I don't want to remember that, you little bastard.
Don't you remember when Everton actually won at Anfield for the first time in how long?
Do you remember when we won at Old Trafford this year?
Oh, yeah, you won at Old Trafford. Wow, you won at Old Trafford. We're full of shite at the moment.
We were full of shite. We was playing Jordan Henderson and Fabinho as a centre-back partnership.
Oh, wow. Injuries FC. We've had injuries this season. What does that? Are we called Manchester United Delight now?
No, you're just Hospital AFC. You know what? I think with Lampard, if he manages to keep them in the Premier League, then that's an achievement in itself. Because if Everton go down, I'm going to throw a party. I'll be honest.
I don't see him going down. I see him struggling, but I don't see him going down.
Thing is, you look at the games they've still got to play. They've still got to play United. I think they play.
They'll beat us.
They've still got to play City. They've still got to play us at Anfield.
They'll beat you.
Fuck off.
Richarlison will stick 5 past you.
They've still got some big games to play, and I think they've still got games against teams below them. Those are the must-win games. Like, yeah, you can lose against the big teams, but if you lose against the teams below you, you're royally.
I mean, they should be beating Watford. They should be beating Burnley.
But it's Everton. You look at them this season. They went, what was it? A run of something like 4 points. They got 7 points from 4 games, which for Everton is good in the first 4 games. Then it just melted down.
Well, that's the thing with Everton. They always have this like magic start, and when they're like top 4, like, oh, we're gonna get Champions League, and then they end up bottling it.
Like
but this season, you could argue that they've not even had, 7 points in the first 4 games. It's okay, but have they really had that good of a start that they normally have? And that's probably why they're in the position they're in now.
Last year, when they had the good start, and then because I remember we drew 2-2 in the derby, and I came into college the next day. And
brilliant game.
Oh, it was a good game. The fact that Jordan Henderson had that goal disallowed was a ball ache. Well, it was minus pubes offside or something. But anyway, I remember thinking, he was talking to another United fan, and he was like, imagine if Everton win the title. I'm like, if Everton win the title, I'm flying to Croatia and never coming back. And then they just went and bottled it.
That would never happen. You'd never have to worry about that.
And the only time Everton would win the league is if every other team in the league took laxatives before every game.
Oh, when you say that, they just quit. I think even if they took laxatives, they'd fucking spank him.
Everton. Thing is, Farhad Nashiri, you look at some of the money he spent. Money on Iwobi.
Alex Iwobi.
He gave Ancelotti a decent load of players. James Rodriguez, who's Ancelotti's love child. Decora's been alright. Alan's been iffy. He's been hit and miss.
I haven't seen much of Alan, to be fair.
Neither do I. I don't watch Everton. I don't want to be bored to death. But when I've seen him, he's been okay. Farhad Nashiri gave Ancelotti the money, but he didn't give Rafa pretty much anything. Like, how much was Damari Gray and Townsend? 1.5 mil for 2 signings.
I think Townsend was a free. I think.
Exactly. Townsend was a free, and Damari Gray was something like 1.5 million.
Damari Gray proved to be a decent signing, to be fair.
Townsend started the season well, but
that goal at Old Trafford where he did Ronaldo's celebration looked like a right
funny.
He looked like a right tosspot.
Nah, the fact that Yerry Mina decided to celebrate even though he knew he was offside.
That was fucking mint. That I was like, what a twat.
Oh yeah, he joined for free from Crystal
Oh,
Palace. But you think about him as a player, right? He doesn't seem like a Rafa player. Think about him.
what is a Rafa player?
Someone that's hard working. The one thing about Rafa is you know he's going to be organised, but Everton weren't organised. In the derby, they didn't. There was more gaps there. You had more freedom in a prison than you did in Everton when they came to Anfield and won. When they came to Anfield 2 years ago, when was it? When they came to Anfield last season and won, they literally parked the bus. But in the
An
Goodison Park
absolute
derby, there was
brilliant game to watch.
suck him up.
Sorry.
When they
Calm
came
down.
to Anfield and no, we went to Goodison Park and we mollywopped the hell out of them. There was
And
more.
Drew.
There was literally space everywhere. Jordan Henderson turned into the English Perlo. Fabinho was
Oh,
looking.
don't be full of shit. You're playing Everton, not Man City. English Pearl, piss off.
Mate, the guy scored a perler and he literally dominated the ball.
Oh wow, he scored a banger of a goal and he held the ball for about half an hour.
You really can't stand him, can you?
It's not that I can't stand him. I don't mind him. He seems like a nice captain, a good leader. But my God, you treat him like he's Jesus.
You can off. You did the same with Maguire when he came.
Oh fuck you! No, I said to you, Maguire was shit, and he's always been shit. I mean,
Fucking
no,
no,
it was not right.
Don't give me that shit. Some United fan once told me that Eric Bailly is a better signing for United than Ruben Diaz for City.
Well, I mean, if he said that at the time when Ruben Diaz signed for City, then I could see.
He said that after
I
they
really
knocked PSG out the Champions League.
Yeah, then no. Yeah, no. Yeah, I can't see that then.
Yeah.
I mean, at first you look at Eric Bailly's transfer, and when he has played, he's looked to be really good, but
What about
always
the own
injured
goal
all
in
the
the
time.
derby?
An own goal in it. He scored a few of those, to be fair, but so was Victor Lindelof, and no one talks about that.
Oh, Victor Lindelof.
But
That
mind you,
guy's
Vic-
wasted.
I remember that game. I think it was against Aston Villa, and he scored an own goal, and then he popped one in the other end. I'll have to check that.
You know what? I reckon Lampard, if he gets decent money to work with, they've got a good spine. It's just that half them players don't look like they want to be there. With everything you say, half the players look like they do not want to be there at all.
Wait, with who? Sorry.
Everton, like they look
Oh.
disinterested. They don't look
Yeah,
like.
who would?
Yeah, who would? Knowing Lampard, he'll chuck in £1 billion bid for Mason Mount or something like that.
Again, you're not really talking about anything interesting with playing for Everton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do you want to come play? Do you want to come sign for Everton? Why has Van der Beek gone to Everton then? He had the
Is that
opportunity to
confirmed?
join Crystal Palace, a team on. Yeah, he basically confirmed. Yeah,
Why?
he had Fabrizio Romano said it. He could have gone to Crystal Palace under Patrick Vieira, one of the best midfielders of his generation.
One of the greatest
Yeah,
of all
Frank
time in
Lampard's
the
good.
Prem.
One of the greatest of all time in the Premier League.
Yeah, but Lampard's a
Someone
shit coach
who-
compared to what Vieira's doing. Like Vieira, when he came to Palace, everyone thought they're going to get relegated, but no. You look at them.
Right.
You look at Vieira's Palace. All right, we got lucky to beat them like last weekend. They came and they gave it everything. That's one thing compared to Roy Hodgson. They would just sit back and if we lose, we lose. Under Patrick Vieira, watching them, they'd just say, you know what, let's just go for the jugular.
I won't mind if Roy Hodgson took over again.
He's gone to Watford.
Well, Lindelof didn't score an own goal in the game I was talking about, but it must have been shit. Tom Eaton scored an own goal, which was funny though, because he signed for us now.
You know what I do think though? You look at signings in general. Christian Eriksen was announced this morning, and that's not bad. Like,
That's good business, that.
I mean, after the tragedy in the summer, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, he's never going to play again." But the fact that a team like Brentford, an ambitious team, a breath of fresh air in the Premier League rather than West Brom and Fulham coming up,
Norwich.
mate, as soon as they come up, you can put a bet on them to win the Championship title the season after because everyone knows they're going down. But Eriksen's at Brentford. You look at that Brentford team; they've been hit and miss, but at the same time, in the games that they've been good, they've been good.
And the games have been shit. They've been shit.
Yeah, no, they've been properly good. Like, they took us to a 3-3.
Imagine conceding 3 at home to Brentford.
No, it was away to Brentford.
That's what I meant. Imagine conceding 3 away to Brentford.
You could have conceded 3. Screw you.
We conceded 1.
You could have
Brentford.
conceded 3.
Oh, but they were shit.
Sure.
Thomas Frank, he seems like a fantastic manager, but that press conference.
Yeah, that was a
after we
bit
beat
ballsy
them,
to say.
What a salty prick.
Calm it,
What
calm
a
it.
salty little bastard.
Calm it, calm it, calm it.
My guy hates us.
I mean, he's got a point. The fact that you could have conceded 4 in the first 25 minutes alone.
But the point is, we didn't. So get going. Little angry looking. Look, if you look at his face, he looks well angry all the time.
Thing is,
All
I
right,
reckon.
I've gotta be careful.
Yeah. He's going to end up winding up at your house one day. I reckon.
Look at his face.
Thing is, the fact that is he Danish? I'm trying to remember where he's from.
Yeah, he's.
If he was
Danish.
English, he'd be getting a lot more hype. The job he's done at Brentford is quite good.
If he was English, Jesus Christ.
It'd be like Scott Parker all over again.
No, I wouldn't. It'd be Graham Potter all over again.
Oh my god, don't get me started on Potter.
I don't see what everyone's problem is. I think he's a good manager.
Thing is, he's a decent manager, but he's not like. Thinking the way some people talk about him, you think he's the second coming of Pep Guardiola, but no.
I think Tottenham should go get him. Like, I don't understand what the problem with Tottenham getting him is. At the end of the day, it's a bit of a risk, but I think he'll be worth it.
Thing is, you look at Brighton. The one problem with Brighton, they don't score. Yeah, they pass the ball around really nicely. It's like hipster football, but at the same time, you give Graham Potter this Tottenham team with Son and Kane up front. That's all the problem sorted.
He would do damage.
Yeah.
Because I reckon you give Brighton a world-class number 9, they're a top 6.
Not even a world-class number 9, you just give them someone better than Neil Maupay.
I love Neil Maupay,
he's a little shit house him.
Yeah. I remember when he did the crying celebration when there was King.
Well, when you scored after the final whistle. Yeah. That was bullshit.
And not only that, he was the one who gave away the penalty as well.
Fuck me.
Imagine doing a crying celebration and giving away a penalty.
Wasn't he actually crying at the end as well?
Yeah. Irony.
Calm as a bitch.
Especially to Man United. I've noticed a lot of players who celebrate against United too prematurely seem to really get played for it. I mean, if you look at when we played Juventus in the Champions League a few years ago under Jose Mourinho, I remember Ronaldo scoring, he lifted his shirt up, and then Mata came in with his excellent free kick skills that no one's ever seen. And we won 2-1.
Oh, what? When Juventus hit the post like twice and you got lucky to win?
Always lucky to win. We won, didn't we?
Just about.
But did we win?
Suck your mum.
To be fair, they had 23 shots and only 3 on target. We had the same. On target, but only 9 shots.
Oh my god. I've just seen online. Apparently Sunderland want to get Jermaine Defoe back.
I rate that, to be fair.
He was a good player back in the day, but he's 39.
Yeah, but you talk about League One Sunderland. They want to come back up. I think if you want a striker that can bring you back up for a season, then
Jermaine Defoe.
He's
a good player.
I didn't know
he scored against Newcastle back in the time where Derby a couple of years ago.
I don't remember.
Oh mate, you need to look at it. Honestly.
I don't. That's a bit too low for my level. Newcastle.
Them lot are putting in a bid for everyone and a dead grandma in a coffin. Literally.
Oh my god, yeah.
I seen something from, who was it? I think it was Goldbridge this morning. He was like, keep an eye on your partner, otherwise Newcastle will put a bid in for them. And he's got a point. You look at the signings they've done. Guimaraes, who I've never seen play. Trippier, who, for all the stick he's got, he's a solid right back.
He's from Barry, you know.
And then you've got, they're apparently going to get Dan Burn from Brighton.
I think they've got him.
Oh, I haven't seen if it's been confirmed, but you look at that.
Chris Wood. Matt Target. Chris Wood, yeah.
Chris Wood, he's a decent striker. Like, he'll get you 10 goals by the end of the season for Newcastle.
And that's about it.
Yeah. But the players they're linked with, like, they were linked with getting Matt Target in. Like,
yeah, they're also apparently ready to get Jordan, Dean Henderson on loan.
I mean, considering how bad what's his name, Freddie Woodman's been this season.
Oh, Freddie Woodman is absolute shite.
The thing is, you look at Newcastle, I don't reckon they'll be a top team by the end of next season. I reckon it'll be like City where they just build. Like, when they sacked Steve Bruce, I said to my dad, I was like, look, Eddie Howe or whoever comes in is only going to come in to stable the ship. You know that the players he's signing now are for the next manager to come in, someone who can get them Champions League football.
And Joe, who I think that's going to be? The Spanish waiter himself.
No, he's not coming back.
I reckon they'll try. Because if you think about it, he left Newcastle Maybe not on a good note, but he wasn't getting backed. All of a sudden, Mike Ashley to fucking give Steve Bruce all the tickets he wants to any kebab shop.
What,
And
40 million
random
quid
players.
for Joe Linton?
But then he got St. Maximin.
I mean, Sam Maximan is a baller.
St.
I want
Maximin's
that.
sick.
Imagine him in like a top team where he doesn't have to pick up the ball 5 yards outside his own box.
How can you say top team just after saying you want him at Liverpool?
Suck your mum. I mean, to be fair, we've got Luis Diaz now. We don't really need Sam Maximan. I'll still take him. Don't get me wrong, but you look at Mane and
I
Luis
hope
Diaz.
we go get him from. I hope we go get him from because at the end of the day, you have him on the bench as a backup winger for either side. He can
For like the last half an hour against tired legs, mate, you twist left backs
he can
inside.
come on, absolutely demolish a defense. Give the ball to Ronaldo, who in recent will probably sky it.
Yeah, he's been in a bit of a poor run of form, but it's Ronaldo. You know he's going to go and bang in a hat trick against someone next match.
Let's hope it's Liverpool at Anfield.
Oh, what, we score 4 instead, or we win 4-3?
No. It'll be like 6-1 to us. We'll have to get revenge like 5-0 or 6-0.
That 5-0, honestly, I'm so pissed off I missed that.
I'm pissed off I didn't miss that.
I was on holiday when that happened, and we was out in like the city centre, and then we got Wi-Fi, and then we looked, and then we saw it was 5-0, and me and my dad just looked each other in the eyes and burst out laughing. Oh, it was such a good day. And then we got into a restaurant for dinner, and my mate texted me, he's like, did you watch the game? I was like, no, what did I miss? He goes, it was men against boys. And I'm like, yes! That is one of the best days of my life.
After watching that game, though, you know what's really sad? Is Liverpool stayed in, I wouldn't say first game, they were in like second, third game.
Yeah, the first half an hour was apparently ridiculously open by Liverpool standards.
Like, if we were actually like, you know, a good team,
it could have been 3-3 at the end of the first half.
We could have easily hit you on the break and done some good like actually scored. Because even like throughout the whole game, I'd say you weren't that good, considering what people have seen Liverpool play for, and obviously ignoring the scoreline. Yeah, and ignoring the scoreline, you didn't play that well. I think Jamie Carragher said it, like, that wasn't anywhere near the best Liverpool.
Someone said it in the kickoff. I think it was Adam McCullough, and he was like, Liverpool haven't... No, it was True Geordie. They were like, Liverpool haven't been at their best, but United have been piss poor.
Yeah, we were it wasn't a case of Liverpool being absolutely amazing.
It's just that United can't defend. Harry Maguire fell into Luke Shaw.
Oh, don't even get me started on
last summer you were hearing Luke Shaw's the best left back in the world, and look at him this season.
It's not been that bad this season.
Yeah,
I mean, when you talk about who he's got next to him in defence,
yeah,
Maguire,
whoever at Leicester, whichever footballing director or accountant or whatever managed to get £80 million for Harry Maguire
actually needs to be arrested.
Is a genius.
Needs to be arrested. Needs to be found and arrested. Fraud, scam.
And then they go and get Sionchu and Fofana, who, let's be honest, are ballers.
Maybe not so much Sionchu, but definitely Fofana.
Fofana managed to put a Adama Traore in his back pocket.
And Adama Traore is just pace and grace.
No end product, but at the same time, you really don't want him running at you.
It's just pace and grace, though.
He's gone to Barcelona.
Do you know something that I found really funny?
Go on.
So let me just double check to see if this is true, because I found this online. So Adama Traore weighs 72 kilograms. Yeah. All right. Daniel James weighs 76 kilograms.
Bullshit.
Daniel James is heavier than Adama Traore. I just googled that.
Right, I'm gonna Google this now.
Can we just talk about how we scammed Leeds United out of 25 million for Dan James? He's been shite.
I remember him scoring against Tottenham, but it's Tottenham who doesn't score against Tottenham.
I can score against Tottenham.
Do you think Conte's actually going to do well? Do you think Conte's going to do well?
No, he went to the wrong team. He went to the wrong... I mean, he could do well for a Tottenham standard, but he's gone to the wrong club. He could have just stayed and waited for the United job, but instead he's gone to Tottenham.
Yeah, but apparently United... Well, I don't know how true this is, but apparently he wanted to bring in his own coaching staff, and United turned their noses up at that. But I'm thinking, it's Antonio Conte. He's won trophies everywhere he's gone. And what does United want?
I doubt that because Ralph Rangnick has brought in his own coaching staff and he's not even the permanent manager. He's
Yeah.
brought in Chris Armas and some other sporting psychologist.
Did you
Let me
buy a
just.
set piece? Didn't you steal Chelsea's set piece
Oh,
expert in
don't
the
even get
summer?
me
And you
started on
haven't
that.
scored from a single set piece this year.
Chelsea have had the best set piece record in the league, and we've had the worst,
I
and
mean, they
we've
had that
stolen their
last year
set
as
piece.
well. They had that last year as well. Literally every game I watched Chelsea, they bloody scored off a corner. I don't think
I,
Tuchel will last at Chelsea though. Speaking of Chelsea,
it's a hard one. I
thing is, you
mean,
look at his record. He's not been for all the hype he was getting at the start of the year. He's not been top tier. Like, yeah, he's won him a Champions League, but it's a season where there was no fans in the away ground.
I didn't think he'd do that well in the beginning, to be fair. But then, like, as we got further on, I thought, like, obviously when he won the Champions League, people were like, oh, he's actually more than just a bit of a flop.
Yeah,
Like,
he's done
obviously,
well, but
you look at his PSG career, and that was a bit.
thing is, you look at speaking of the PSG thing. He did all the hard work and he got to a one-off final against Bayern Munich. And I know it's Bayern Munich, you know, the team that took 8 past a half-assed Barcelona. But in a one-off game, anyone can win it. Let's be real. He could have done better than what happened. It's like the season after, Pochettino took the exact same PSG team and knocked Bayern Munich out of the Champions League over 2 legs.
Pochettino, what a manager.
He's good, but I think he'll be sacked by PSG. If he doesn't win the Champions League with that team, he'll be sacked.
I really hope we don't end up getting him. As good as a coach as he is,
He
maybe
doesn't
like
suit United, I don't think.
yeah, I mean like he'll be good in all regards in terms of we'd play attacking football and we'd definitely bring in the youth.
Thing
The
is, with
youth
Poch
and-
football, this is why it's not working at PSG. Poch football requires everyone to do the hard yards. Messi's not going to do them. Neymar's not going to do them. I don't know about Mbappe. You take it
And
to
if it comes to
United,
United,
is Ronaldo going to do the hard yards? No.
no. Oh my god, Mbappe is just a bit of a sulk in it.
Thing is, going back to Tuchel at Chelsea, what I do think though is he should have done a lot better this season. At the start of the season, you look at that team and you think, okay, they can maybe challenge City for the title. The only thing they're missing is a striker that'll get you, 20 goals a season. Then they go and get Lukaku. Don't get me wrong, at the start of the season, he looked like the perfect signing for Chelsea. What do you think?
No.
He's what they needed, though. But then you look at how they've been this season, they haven't done as well as anyone thought. Like, I remember in October, I was speaking to a Leicester fan, and I said to him, who do you think's winning the league this year? He took a couple seconds and he just said, yeah, Chelsea.
I didn't say Leicester.
I mean, realistically, that team should not be, 11 points off the top.
This is where it comes to Brendan Rodgers isn't actually a good manager as everyone says he is, and everyone who's telling me, oh, United should get Brendan Rodgers. I can finally show them that they're wrong because Brendan Rodgers is a serial bottler. I mean, you look at him at Liverpool, yeah, he nearly won you the title.
But he bottled it.
Keyword nearly.
Yeah, but
Keyword nearly.
that team was carried by Luis Suarez. I'm not even joking.
And not Steven Gerrard. Ah, mind you, Steven Gerrard carried you away from the title.
How about you suck it, mum?
You could say it slipped out of Liverpool's grasp.
I'm gonna come to your house and 2-foot you in a bit. Watch.
Nah, but like you look at his Liverpool career and you're like, obviously he nearly won the
Yeah, he
league.
nearly won it, but you can't. Thing is, he had one of the greatest strikers of this generation and one of the best Premier midfielders of all time.
Well, I'll accept the striker thing.
Up yours. But anyway, thing is, look at the job he went and did at Celtic. It's Celtic. If they don't win the title, you should be ashamed. If you look at
And Postecoglou.
and then you go look at the job he's done at Leicester. Yeah, he won him an FA Cup, but bottling Champions League back to back 2 years in a row, conceding 4 at home to Newcastle. That was appalling.
But even like his Liverpool job after that season where they nearly won the league, finished in like 7th, 9th, and then got sacked, and then you brought in as some Liverpool fans have called him, the Messiah, not Divock Origi, Jurgen Klopp.
You can't say you wouldn't take Klopp at United.
And I never said I wouldn't otherwise. I never said I wouldn't.
Thing is, you look at Rodgers, the one thing is, I don't know if it's his recruitment team or him, but his signings at Leicester have been pretty good.
It's definitely not him.
Soyuncu's been good. He brought in Thomas from the youth team. Tielemans
Definitely
is
not him.
insane.
You look at his signings from Liverpool when he started to do his own sign, because I think he's
Ricky
openly
fucking
admitted
Lambert.
that his signings are shit. Oh, I could just make a long list of all.
We'd
of
be here
Liverpool's
all year.
flops. Ben oh my god.
Oh, fucking...
Sure, because I used to love Benteke. I remember like when he used to play
Christian
FIFA.
Benteke,
I used to always sign him.
was it at Villa? Benteke was a
Yeah.
baller. You know Christian Benteke's got more Premier League goals than Eric Cantona.
Don't that.
Google it. I'm being serious. Google it.
Did you know Cantona has more Premier League titles than Steven Gerrard?
Do you know Gerrard's got more Champions League titles than Cantona?
Did you know Ronaldo's got more Premier League, Champions League titles than Gerrard?
Yeah, but he only won one at Man United. He won most of them at Real Madrid. And let's be honest, it's Real Madrid.
Did you know Varane's got more Champions League titles
Again, Real Madrid. Did you know Henderson's lifted more trophies than your captain?
Did you know Anderson has lifted more Premier League titles than Jordan Henderson?
Do you know Alisson's got more goals, same amount of Premier League goals as Jadon Sancho in his career? That I had to pull out.
Did you know De Gea is just a better goalkeeper than Alisson?
It pains me to say it, but if it weren't for David De Gea, you'd be in the same position as Norwich right now.
Yeah, and if it weren't for Alisson, you would have lost to West Brom. God, I was happy watching that game because I was like, hey, Liverpool's gonna get.
We're gonna bottle top four.
They're gonna bottle top four to West Brom, and then Alisson comes out of nowhere.
The thing is, you can't even see that Alisson goal. All right, you can't even see it was luck because my man turned into prime Ronaldo with a header.
That was a brilliant header, to be fair. I won't even say prime Ronaldo. I'll say prime Ibrahimovic.
I remember sitting there, like, I was genuinely on the edge of my seat, like, no. Because at the end of it, we had like 4 shots in the last couple of minutes, and then it got to a point where I'm like, it's done. And next thing you know, Alisson scores, and me and my dad both do laps of the living room screaming the house down. Because it was one of them. It's one of the best moments of the season. That and winning 4-2 at Old Trafford. Oh, that was brilliant.
Right.
We came to Old Trafford with no centre-backs, and Gary Neville was saying that United's defence hasn't been that good. When United's defence was worth at least 150 million, and we had Nat Phillips and Reece Williams at the back.
That doesn't make it good. You can shove. If you can put like £100,000. You can put an £80 million fridge, and that you can say, "Oh, it's an expensive fridge." You're not a good centre back, though, is he?
The fact that Maguire wasn't even playing that game.
Who was playing that game?
Lindelof and Bailly.
It's not 150 million plus.
No, he means including the back four, like the whole back four. Wan-Bissaka was 60 million quid.
Oh, yeah.
Thing is...
don't even start on Wan-Bissaka, my God.
You look at the United transfer window this year, they should be doing 10 times better than what they are doing.
I say we've had the best transfer window on paper.
Yeah, on paper, but on the pitch.
And I even still want it, because I remember saying this to you at the beginning of the season, and I would say this now. On paper, we have one of the best squads in the league. If
on
not
paper, you've got a team capable of winning the league comfortably. Like, you should be up there with City, but...
Yeah, we on paper, if you look at solely on paper, we have a better squad than you do, and I'd like to see you try and debate that. But it's just
in terms of depth, yeah, 11 for 11, we can match each other. But in terms of depth, the fact that you could have Sancho or he must not be named on the bench, players like Alanga, Matic at the thingy. But
we've literally loaned out Diallo for actually good reason, to be fair.
Yeah, get him some experience. But that team should be doing 10 times better.
Should be in top 3, top 2.
He should be up top.
We shouldn't be getting spanked 5-0 at Old Trafford.
Thing is, I remember Ronaldo got announced while I was in the barbers, and my barber's a United fan. So we were talking. Well, no, the guy that runs it is a United fan. The guy who was doing my stream was a Liverpool fan. And we were all talking and we were like, the title race just got interesting. But no.
I'm surprised he didn't sabotage your hair, to be honest.
Nah.
Mind you, it's sabotage every time you go.
Up yours. I've got a better trim than you. I do think...
I haven't had a haircut in about 6 months.
Oh, God. Thing is, we were talking and there was a guy outside who was waiting to get his trim. He went outside to look at his phone. He sees Ronaldo's been announced, and he stood there the entire time I'm waiting. Bearing in mind it was busy, so I was waiting about half an hour. And he stood there screaming "Sue" on the main road, and it was genuine. Can you not? He was genuinely screaming "Sue" for so long, and I'm like, I looked at my phone and I was like, when do we play United? And I saw that we played them at Old Trafford first, and I got worried. Like, I genuinely got worried. I was like, we could lose here. He didn't sue against us, did he?
He nailed it. He put the ball in the back of the net, to be fair.
Yeah. You know what?
Just offside.
One thing I want to say, VAR has been embarrassing.
Well, VAR is always embarrassing. What's changed?
Thing is, in certain leagues, it works. Like in the Champions League, it works. At Euros, it works. Yeah, but the Germans know how to do everything right, let's be honest. No, but in the Premier League, there's that many issues that you're never certain about anything anymore. Like, you look at
Liverpool
the French
cheating
league.
fans.
You look at the French league, it works. The Bundesliga, it works. At the Euros, there wasn't any VAR issues. But in the Prem, right, the one thing that really annoys me is this clear and obvious error bollocks. Excuse my French, but
Bollocks.
the thing is, if the decision's wrong, VAR should be there to change it, not to say, "Oh, it's not a clear and obvious error, so we're not going to change it." Like
It's just shit, isn't it?
you look at some of the decisions that have been given this season, and you're confused. It's like the offside rule nowadays. Like when you see a player and you're like, "Oh, they might be onside," and then you just look at it, and then they draw lines on it, and they're like, as you can clearly see, and it's in quality that wouldn't be good back in the 1970s, and you're like,
It's, the lines are like they're playing Snake or something, trying to chase this fucking Barry, going all over the place. But question though, do you think Cavani was offside in our goal against? Was it West Ham? Yeah, it was West Ham.
Thing is, you look at it from the naked eye point of view, right? You freeze it at that moment, it looks offside, but then they draw the lines on, and then it makes you question your own mind. I'm like, what?
To me, personally, we'll get the editor to put it on screen. I personally think that it's easy is onside. Let me just quickly look at. Of course, I'm gonna think he's offside. I'm offside. I'm a United fan.
Editor, put this in post and we'll let the viewers decide.
Yeah, just do a poll. Is he offside or onside? Because I mean, you look at it and I think obviously his hand's offside, but that doesn't matter.
But sometimes you've seen offsides given for like the wrist being offside or the shoulder, and you're like,
just go with your wrist.
Everyone's talking about how can you measure offside. The one thing I want people to talk about is how do you expect a player to stay onside? You know, players don't want to be caught offside. Let's be honest. What player wants to be caught offside? No one.
Nobody.
Literally no one.
No Rashford, player apparently.
Oh, no player wants to be caught offside. So they want to know how to keep themselves onside. Like they'll be spending half the time thinking, "Oh no, my pubes might be offside, or my left arse cheek might be offside."
Oh, imagine if Fellaini was still in the Premier League.
Mate,
right now.
Like his massive barnet would be.
Oh, he's shaved it off, hasn't he?
Has he shaved it?
Yeah, let me. I'll send you a picture.
Oh my days! I've just seen a story on my phone.
Editor, put this on screen. What story?
Burnley have completed the signing of Wout Weghorst. Apologies if I've said that wrong. They've got a new target man.
I mean, is he going to be any good?
I mean, you look at his record in the Bundesliga: 118 games, 59 goals, which isn't bad.
I mean, is he that good? Is he going to be that good in the Premier League?
They need a striker, but at the same time, I don't want to say there are better options because it's Burnley, but there could have been better players.
I don't understand why Weghorst went. All right, listen.
Right, let me look at it.
All right, listen. Well, you have an option here. You can either stay here at Wolfsburg, where we're going to be fighting for Europe, in a nice German place where Oktoberfest and booze, or you could go to Burnley and probably get battered by some bald 40-year-old outside a pub.
You can go to Burnley and have pints of Stella lobbed at your head every time you walk down the street in Blackburn.
I don't see why Weghorst has gone to Burnley, but I hope he does well there. No, I'm kidding. I hate Burnley.
Burnley exists just to piss off opposition. I've come to this conclusion.
They literally said.
Don't get me wrong.
I hope they
Sean Dyche has done a top job at Burnley. He has.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Nah, but
if you're playing that style of football,
yeah, route one, boot it to the front, fling a few elbows. Like his brand of football is so shite to watch. Like if you're a Burnley fan, how do you not suffer with his? If you're a Burnley fan and you're suffering with insomnia, go to a game. I think he's underrated for the job he's done, in my opinion.
He would never ever do a job outside Burnley.
No.
Like you put him in. The only job I see him really doing something with is West Brom.
I mean, yeah, the two definitions of Brexit FC or Millwall. Sean Dyche at Millwall.
I remember years ago when he was linked with the Tottenham job, and I just don't see why that would be a good idea because he's definitely a lower tier manager, and his shit football, while it works for those shit teams,
it's not going to work.
No
in the
disrespect
top team.
to Burnley. It's not going to work at a United or a Chelsea or an Arsenal or City, the top teams.
Like you're saying they're Tottenham, they're not a top team, but you think you're not exactly going to go into a dressing room and start telling Eric Dyer, pump it long to Harry Kane.
All right, I'll just say all the better teams. You got United. He won't do well at United. He won't do well at Arsenal. He won't do well at Chelsea. They're like the three big teams.
You're an actual bender, you know that. I was waiting. I was like, he's going to say United, Chelsea, and City. I didn't expect Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal's a bit of a push. Not City. Fuck City.
Arsenal, they've been better this season compared to last, but you look at some of the games where they've lost, like the 5-0 at the Etihad against City. That was an ugly game to watch for an Arsenal fan.
I think all Arsenal games would be ugly to watch for an Arsenal. Nah, I speak to some Arsenal fans and they think they're way better than what they are.
I saw an Arsenal fan saying that, watch, with the signings we have, we're going to be comfortably in the top 4. And I was thinking, mate, you'll be
What
lucky.
signings?
He was
Ben
talking
Shite.
about £50 million for Ben White when a World Cup winning Galactico centre half with a trophy cabinet filled with medals is 40 million. I think he was 40 million.
Shit. He's not been shit. He's been injured.
Yeah, he's been
It
injured.
was less than. I think it was 36 million. Can I just say what a coup that was? Ed Woodward, what's he been smoking? Because he's actually
was a good transfer.
just good business there.
Thing is, Arsenal, some of the players that they've signed, you look at Odegaard, who's been pretty good. You've got Smith Rowe, who's a decent talent. Ben White's been hit and miss. Gabriel been hit and miss.
Nah, I think Gabriel's been good.
Partey's been good. You've got Saka, who's pretty class. Martinelli, who's a baller. But you just don't have any experience in that team. The only experience they have is Granit Xhaka, and he gets sent off every 3 weeks.
Fucking Xhaka. And you got Aubameyang, who I think has shown that he respects the club just as much as I respect Liverpool fans.
I expect Aubameyang to go to Barcelona, right? And then Barcelona v Arsenal in the Europa League next year, and Aubameyang to do an Adebayor. I'll call it now. Come back to me next year if this doesn't happen.
That'd be brilliant.
That would be quality. Can you imagine the Arsenal fans' reaction?
So, like I said, he respects that club as much as alcohol respects your liver.
You know what? Champions League, who's winning it this year?
Man United. Do you remember what you said about 20 minutes ago when it's just about who wins on the day? Manchester United's style of play, especially under Solskjaer, I don't know how much under Rangnick, it was about winning on the day. That's why we got to the Europa League final, because we just hit you on the break and we just fucking slap you on the day.
You couldn't even beat Villarreal in 120 minutes.
I think we'll beat Atletico.
Yeah, but depends. The thing is, you look at Atletico, I reckon, you look at the draw, Bayern's probably going to go through. City, Liverpool, I don't know, because Inter will probably be a tough game. Real Madrid or PSG, I'd never want to face either of those. But there's still a load of top teams to get through. Like, I really hope City gets Bayern Munich and you get PSG and you both get absolutely bummed out the Champions League.
No, I think we'd beat PSG. I don't think we'd beat Real Madrid. I think we'd beat PSG.
The thing is, Real Madrid, you look at them, they know how to win games. Like, Real Madrid are, in my opinion, the biggest club in the world.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
You just look at them in some European games, they just know how to win. Like, against, who was it? Bayern Munich a couple of years ago. They set up perfectly.
When you're being royally backed, then obviously you're going to be pretty good.
Yeah, it's PSG. They spend the money however they want.
If we don't win the Champions League, another English team will.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say which English team will, because I don't
It'll
like
either be
either
an
of
English
these
team
options.
or Bayern. Because it's Bayern.
I don't think Bayern will do it.
You know?
See, no, I don't think they will, because obviously poor Alphonso Davies has actually been like.
Yeah,
he's
COVID
out for a
kind of
while
did a
due to
number on
heart.
him.
That was Joshua Kimmich.
No, Alphonso Davies got done by a number on COVID as well.
Was it? I thought he was diagnosed with a heart condition. I don't know if that was caused by COVID.
I think it was caused by COVID.
This isn't something we're educated in, so we shouldn't really assume. I personally don't think Bayern Munich will win the Champions League because everyone's expecting them to do it, and
too much pressure.
Are they not just that? Are they really as good as everyone says there is? Like, yeah, you've got a world-class midfielder like Leon Goretzka. Obviously, Lewandowski going up front, but he's like 60 odd or something.
You've got Thomas Muller, who's underrated. Like, that guy should have been in the FIFA Team of the Year.
My guy's linked with Everton and Newcastle.
Fuck off. Everton
and Newcastle want Thomas Muller.
Isn't he like the most decorated German footballer of all time in terms of trophies?
I have no idea.
Let's find out. Right.
Either him or his dad, I'd imagine. His late dad. He's definitely not Timo Werner.
Mate, that guy could decorate a Christmas tree. He'll miss. I think it looks like he is the most decorated German footballer of all time.
Fair enough then.
He's underrated in terms of playing. Like,
I remember when we were linked with him a few years ago.
Nah, he wouldn't waste his time. He'd be another Angel Di Maria. Wasted.
Oh, don't even get me started on that little bastard.
I do think with some signings though, you can't tell if they're gonna be good. Like I don't know if Luis Diaz can handle the Premier League.
I think he can. I
I've
think
not
he's
seen him
quick.
that often. Thing is, the times I've seen Porto play is when we've played him off the park. Our aggregate score with Porto is something like 18-2 over the past 4 years.
Porto. I swear you get drawn up against Porto every
All the
single
time.
year without fail.
Thing
And
is,
you have the audacity to call City's draws rigged.
thing is, Porto, right? I remember we beat them 5-1, no 5-0 one year. We beat them 6-2 the next year. Is it 6-1 or 6-2? One of those two. And then we didn't get them last year. This year we get them. We beat them 5-1 in their own stadium, and then we beat them 2-0 at Anfield.
Didn't you get him in? Didn't you get him in the round of 16 last year?
Round of 16 last year, no, we got Leipzig. We got them in the quarterfinals the year before.
All right,
No, the year we won the Champions League, we got them in the quarterfinals.
lucky bastards. Do you know who are bad at the moment, considering what they have? AS Roma. I remember when they lost 6-0 to
Bodo
Bodo
Glimt.
Glimt.
European
Who the
royalty
fuck?
right there.
A
Wait,
Bodo
European
Glimt.
what? The European royalty? What do you mean?
Fucking Bodo Glimt, the best.
This is where I
Sounds
call
like
Jose
Mordor.
Mourinho finished.
I don't know if I call him finished. I think he should take. I think give him the Portugal job, the Spain job,
Nah,
hell, even the England job. He'd
send
do
him to
well.
Newcastle.
You know what? I could see that.
I actually
You give
would.
Jose Mourinho loads of money,
And you
a
give him the
team
players he wants. You look at the job he did at Chelsea, where he was successful. Abramovich, the second time around, Abramovich listened and gave him Costa, players like that.
Oh, what a shithouse Costa is.
Oh, Costa's a living legend. I hated him because he played for Chelsea, but when you watch him play, he's so entertaining.
Elbow here, stamp there, the odd goal once or twice.
It's like, what's his name? Pepe, the one that used to play for Real Madrid.
Oh
That
my
guy is the
god!
type of defender that used to eat bricks for breakfast.
And we thought Ramos's red card.
Ramos was rough. You look at Pepe,
cards.
mate. That guy will 2-foot you just for looking at him wrong.
Oh, when Ramos and Pepe used to defensive partnership, my god, that would be the dirtiest defense of all time. No, just
the opposition would
those
come off
two.
in wheelchairs.
Give those two to Sean Dyche, and he'd still play Nathan Collins.
Nah, he still played Tarkovsky and me.
Yeah, and Collins on the bench. Yeah. Well, Tarkovsky is probably going to leave Burnley at the end of the season.
He was linked with Newcastle, wasn't he? I mean, who isn't?
I mean, I think I don't see why we don't go out and get him on a free transfer.
He's a solid defender. If you tell him to do something other than pump it long, do you reckon he's going to do well?
Well, considering United don't like pumping it long and we're just like passing it around the back and then losing the ball.
Passing it around and then lumping it to Ronaldo, hoping he can do something.
And he ends up giving the ball away. Not to his own fault. He's got no one to pass to. But guys, we have the greediest attack I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You've got Rashford who
Doesn't pass.
When he does pass, he gives it away. You got Ronaldo, who's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, but it's Ronaldo. He's got the accolades and the career to say, I'm not going to pass to you. Rashford and he who must not be named, they don't have that.
And Martial.
He's gone to Sevilla, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Waste of money.
on loan. I mean, I hope he can revitalise his career on loan.
Didn't he
because
have
I
a
remember-
Ballon d'Or clause in his contract?
Yeah, if he wins the Ballon
Fucking
d'Or
hell.
in Monaco. I think Bruno Fernandes has one as well.
He's never going to win a Ballon d'Or.
Bruno Fernandes, I think.
Thing is, I think Bruno and Salah in particular, when it comes to World Awards, they get disrespected. Like, I still hear people tell me, mainly United fans, tell me that Salah isn't world class.
Of course he is.
Salah and Mane, right? You put them in any
Yep.
team and they're scoring goals.
Maybe not Mane.
Maybe not Mane this season, but Mane pre-COVID.
I would take Rashford over Mane basically any day.
Nah, Mane
Mane
pre-COVID, the season we won the league and the Champions League the year before. Mane for those 2 seasons, he scored something mad like 47 goals.
Mane had like 2 good seasons.
No, he had 3, but then COVID did a number on him.
But again, like I said, I think I'd
I
rather
swear
take
last year, right, Mane's worst ever season had the same number of league goals as Rashford in his best ever season. Tottenham too late in bid for Atletico Madrid's Yannick Carrasco.
Carrasco. Decent winger.
He went to China.
I think they're just desperate.
And
I think they're just desperate at this point.
Tottenham, yeah, they're desperate for anyone. When you're having to pick Ben Davies as part of your back 3,
Ben Davies, what a load of shite.
that team was finished after the Champions League final loss. That was
Yeah,
the
let's
highest.
just look at transfer news from her. I'm on Sky Sports News, and looks like West Ham are trying to sign Darwin Núñez, who is an absolute baller in my opinion.
I mean, on
from
career mode, I've
Benfica.
used him and he's sick, but I don't know about real life.
You know. According to this, as it stands, West Ham are unlikely to pursue deals for Liverpool's Divock Origi. So it looks like the Lord himself is staying at Liverpool.
Mate, Divock Origi, right? He only ever before this season he'd scored 3 Champions League goals, 2 in the semi-final against Barcelona and 1 in the final. You want to talk about clutch players? There's one right there. He needs a
He's no
statue.
soldier. He's no Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, though, is he?
Up yours. What a bit
So
part player
Target has arrived in Newcastle for
a medical.
and Villa's moving for Vespa. I thought he got arrested.
He got released on bail, I think.
Oh, all right.
Apparently Dembele's gonna go PSG.
Oh, I can see that. I
But
can
at the
also
same
see
time, they've
him
got
going
too many wingers
I don't get why we don't go in for him.
because he's too injury prone, mate. The guy's got hamstrings made of Hartley's jelly.
Well, yeah, but he'd be a good backup right winger, and that's
Mate, he'd
kind of
get
what we
injured in the
need right now.
warm-up.
He'd probably get Ronaldo seeing him mid-injury. What I've just found 38 minutes ago, and I can't remember if I said this to you or someone else. Burnley have entered. Wait, no, mind if I read it wrong. Yeah, Burnley are looking at Divock Origi,
Oh my!
which I think is absolutely hilarious.
Apparently Van der Beek's going through his Everton medical now.
Oh, the poor guy.
Mate, that guy, I feel so bad for him.
He's going to United and Everton. I bet you love him.
The thing is, I don't get why he didn't just go to Real Madrid when he had the chance. A couple of years ago, Real Madrid wanted him after that Ajax glory season. He should have gone then.
I think we bought him just to use him for like.
You bought him to fill the numbers.
Yeah, and just to use him as like a trade.
Didn't you buy him after the 6-1 against Tottenham and he just didn't play since?
No, I don't. I think we bought him before that.
You know what pisses me off? People say United don't have the team. And I'm like, they're still picking Fred and Scott McTominay when you have Van der Beek rotting on the bench. They're still picking Luke Shaw when you've got Alex Telles on the bench.
We have the squad, but we don't have the team. We don't have a connected team that works together.
The thing is, Solskjaer didn't know his best 11. When he brought in all them players, he didn't know his best 11. Like, we could knock one up, but we don't know how Ollie thinks.
I don't think anyone knows United's best 11 at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't even think I could put out a good...
The thing is, you look at the United team in the first couple of games on the run, they were lucky to win some of those games. Norwich, if Timu Puki knew how to put the ball in the back of the net, you could have conceded 3. Newcastle, you got lucky to get away with a point.
I think Crystal Palace were lucky. On the other hand, Crystal Palace were lucky to get away with only 1-0.
I didn't watch that game.
We were the start of that game where everyone thought, wow, we were actually playing good football. Fortunately, never really got back from there though. We were pressing like shit. We were absolutely demolishing our backline. Was it? I can't remember who was in goal for them. The second he sent the ball to his defenders because Crystal Palace were playing out from the back. Literally, you'd have like Sancho and I think it was Sancho and someone else
swarming them,
run straight at them.
It's like Mane and Salah for Liverpool.
Don't start Mane shit.
With pressing, there's this big talk about, oh yeah, you should win the ball back every time you press. No.
The whole point of pressing is to put them under pressure. So
yeah. It's either force them into the mistake, win the ball back, or force them to go long. You know, if you can win the ball back high, then it's okay. If you're forcing them back and pinning them down, then it's okay. But if you force them to go long and you can just mop the ball up, then that's not better in the sense, but it's still something. You don't have to win the ball back every time you go for it.
The problem with our 4-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2 system is that we were just very, very narrow, and the midfielders we had in McTominay and Fred. Because if you looked at Leipzig when they played 4-2-2, you'd have like Konrad Laimer and
Sabitzer.
I don't know who. I don't think it was Sabitzer at the time who was playing like holding midfielder.
Yeah.
But they used to essentially, as the fullbacks push forward, which was Michele and someone else, they'd cover the fullback position. And you got McTominay and Fred. You could see them doing that in the Palace game, but they just didn't end up doing that in any other game. And it just, I think Ralph Rangnick sees it himself. The players are lazy.
Yeah.
The players are lazy.
I saw this thing online on Instagram, but I don't know how true it is. But apparently Rangnick said to the board that Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka are not good enough to be at Manchester United. And I totally agree with him.
He definitely doesn't like Luke Shaw. He doesn't like Luke Shaw. He's never liked Luke Shaw for some reason.
Probably because he's got all the concentration of a penguin on steroids.
My mind isn't made on
Harry Maguire.
On Luke Shaw. Oh my god, no, Harry Maguire. Maguire and Wan-Bissaka on the other hand, yeah, I agree with him. They should be replaced instantly. Harry Maguire.
I think Lindelof should be on that list as well.
And I like Lindelof. I
He's
think
been okay,
Lindelof.
but at the same time, he doesn't look suited to the Premier League. He looks suited to more like the Liga, being a ball playing defender.
Well, because you see, you've got Lindelof and you've got Maguire, right? So Maguire tends to push forward a lot, which is very much against Lindelof's game as a ball playing defender because he always has to end up tracking back and
Yeah,
fixing Maguire's mistakes. And obviously, because he's not like a world class
he's not the
centre back
fastest
like
of
Varane.
players, is he?
Because and that as well, because you look at when we played against Wolves and obviously Maguire goes forward. We had Varane in his debut, and Varane played really well in my opinion because as Maguire goes forward and tends to cut like he always does, at least Varane can cover it up and
Yeah, because it's Varane.
cover
That guy's one of the
it.
best defenders of this generation.
But obviously
Lindelof
Lindelof
can't do that.
hasn't the quality to do that. But when Lindelof has played with Bailly, for example,
He's been better. Honestly,
they've looked really good. I think
thing is,
Lindelof and
the
Bailly was
fact
our
that
best defensive partnership.
the fact that a fully fit Phil Jones had a better performance than Harry Maguire did all season against Wolves says a lot.
And he won't even play again.
Thing is, he was looking at going out on loan to, I think it was the French league, but apparently United didn't want to send him out. And I'm like, let him have some games. The guy's been sat in a prison locker for 2 years.
I think it was that he didn't want to go to Bordeaux. I think he himself rejected it because Ranić said he can go, and then it was up to Jones to decide whether he wants to go, and I don't think he does. I think he should go. I think United should push him to go out on loan because either you sell him for like quite a lot of money if he does well, or he does well and
You bring him back and use him. Thing is,
Exactly.
I watched him in the first half an hour, 35 minutes against Wolves when Wolves were battering you, and he looked like he didn't look world class, but he did look good considering he'd been out for 2 years with injury. Yeah, it was his header that gave away the goal, but Wolves were going to score anyway in that game. Everyone knew it.
What an assist.
Mate, it's João Moutinho. That guy can hit one.
Yeah, that's
I think
right,
Bruno Lage is going under the radar of Wolves for the job he's done.
Yeah, but I think he should not make the mistake Nuno Espirito Santo did
And go to a lower team in
leave
Tottenham.
Yeah, lower team. No, I think
He's done a
Bruno
good job.
Lage-
They've got like the best defensive record in the league or something like that.
Yeah, teams just don't want to score against them.
I remember watching them against City, and before Raul Jimenez's red card, they weren't pressing. They were sat back in the shape, but they were defending well. Like everyone about them had that energy. Like they were like, you know what? Yeah, let's do the hard yards for the team. It's like you look at Nuno at Tottenham. None of those players wanted to run.
And that's what he had at Wolves. When Nuno was at Wolves, he had the players that wanted to run. But
Yeah,
as he went to Tottenham, he's at a team full of egos, and that's
Dele Alli
exactly
syndrome.
what.
Like you look at Dele Alli, all right. Dele Alli
Absolute.
4 or 5 years ago was good. Like, I'm not gonna
I
say.
hated him then, and I hate him now.
Thing is, you look at him a couple of years ago when he was scoring, what was it, 80 goals from midfield, which is a good season. But then
Yeah.
he gets given a fat contract, and next thing you know, he's playing Casper the Friendly Ghost all season. He doesn't want to run. Like, he's made it now.
All right. Well, I think that's everything we can really talk about for this
For
week's
now.
stories.
Yeah, this week's stories. I mean, watch a load of transfers happen the minute we finish recording this.
Aubameyang deal only business likely at Arsenal.
Apparently, well, you know what?
Arsenal aren't signing anyone.
Arsenal. You know what? Next week we'll react to deadline day and see if Lampard does any business at Everton. But in the meantime, that's us gone.
Yeah. Goodbye, Arsenal shit.
So Man United.